Hey guys, Jeff with Wisconsin RC Construction. I've been doing a build video on what's left of the Huna. This started, I believe, as the Huna 573. It's the plastic two-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive dump bed from Huna with the blacked out windows, the all plastic cab, and the 4 steel rebar plates. It's in the front of the chassis. Found that very interesting, but that's why the front's so heavy. If you ever guys want to know, there's some steel rebar in the front of that thing. Front plate comes right off. Well, we actually got it all torn down, got things figured out, and what needs to be done. So right here, I have it all torn down on its own actual frame. Alright, so this is the stock Huna plastic chassis. I've added some styrene sheets to where I need it to mount stuff to. All of my electronics, and I mean all of it, are going to be under the cab, accessible through the front hatch right here. So this gets just clipped in, and there's a little screw, 2 screws at the bottom that'll hold it right in. To remove it, pop the screws, pull it right out, and you'll have pretty decent access from about here to here where you can shove your battery in and adjust anything that you really need to get adjusted. So I'm using those little blister packed ESCs right now. I think they're 10 amps a piece. I got 2 of them, one for the drive motors, and I'll show you that in a minute, and then one for the stock Huna dump. So I am actually using the stock dump motor that comes in the Huna, sitting right underneath there. This is actually where your axles would be for the rear. So everything else has been gutted and gone. I did cut out and keep the rear taillight section, so I can put this back in, and I'm going to keep the rear LED taillights there, and I believe I'll end up putting a hitch right there to pull a nice little trailer. Everybody's asking me what the donor is going to be for this thing. Well, how about I show it to you guys? I have the Wpl B36 Chassis. It is a 6x6 chassis. Okay, so, and it's all locked. The diffs are locked, front, intermediate, and rear. I'll go this way. So you have your front steering, your intermediate axle, and your rear axle. They all spin the same way. The biggest thing I did for an upgrade is this little guy right here. Okay, so this little guy right here is a 2-speed transmission that I picked up. It operates on a little 370 can and an ESC. So that's going to operate on my iSky i6S remote. That will actually, on one of the switches, will send it into a high or a low range. Okay. I also have the front steering servo up in there. So you have your steering, you have your 2 ESCs. Now remember, when you use 2 ESCs and you solder the motor leads together for your battery, don't send both of your red wires that are on, that go for your plug-in servo leads. So your red wire here, your red wire in there, make sure that gets pulled out on one of them. You'll need to power your ESC one time, not 2 separate times. So the parts that I do have coming for this, I do a lot of my builds that I'll use the Wpl chassis. The one big thing that I really do use is I order some upgraded leaf springs off of Amazon, and I put them in just about everything that I build. It really adds the rigidity to it, like the Weekender, definitely. For as heavy as that thing is and top heavy, I tried it without it. Man, that thing would tip all over the place. So I figured I'd have the same issue with this. So for this one, I am still using the leaf springs. They're going to be tucked back up underneath here, underneath this big single metal leaf spring. You can kind of see it right in there. So they have the leaf springs right up in here. Basically goes from here to here. Okay, it's one big leaf spring, but I'm going to add some other ones to it, stiffen it up, because at the end of the day, this is a dump truck. I gotta be able to haul some weight back here. It did pretty decently with the sand, just playing with it. Obviously we loaded it and it would just bury itself out and high center and you got nowhere. I'm hoping with the 2-speed trans, the high and the low on this one, we can throw it in low gear and we don't have any more issues out of that. The one thing that I did add is I know we do need weights in the front of a lot of our vehicles. A lot of you guys are putting the stainless steel split shots in them. Wpl, since I am using Wpl, they do actually have a metal kit. So they have I lost it already, but they have metal wheel weights for this. Yeah, they're somewhere on here. They have metal wheel weights. Basically big, looks like big washers cut in half. It looks like there's a staple. It's actually a pin system that they use to hold it together, one on each side. Oh, here they are. I didn't lose them. So here are the wheel weights, you guys. These things are beastie. So this is 1/2 of the wheel weights. Alright, this will fit on the stock Wpl rims. I ordered an extra set because I wanted to put them on my Mac, because I noticed that same issue on my Mac, and I'm using modified Wpl rims on that one. I had them 3D printed from MIJ Bits, which I can't get a hold of anymore. MIJ Bits, the center of it was a little too big. I can't fit that stock wheel weight inside on that rim. So I pulled out 4 pieces of rebar from the stock huina. So guess what's going in the front of the Mac? Maybe one of them. They're pretty heavy a piece. I couldn't imagine putting 4 in. No wonder why it would bury itself into the sand. So we have the Wpl B36 chassis. Like I said, we'll get the hardened steel springs in there. I'm going to remove the plastic leaves. I just wanted to get this thing put together so I could test this. I do have some metal links or some metal drive lines, because the plastic ones I just don't believe are really going to cut what I need to do. But the rear drive has a pretty beefy system, so I just got to get the intermediate link and the front link, and I have that. So if you flip the Wpl or your huina B36 over, I've made some mounting plates for this. So there's a screw in the front plate right here that I figured would be a good mounting spot. Now I removed the cab to do a lot of this stuff just because I needed to put some stuff in the cab and I need to wire all this stuff up, but I need this chassis. This top section here, from here forward, does remove. I have glued that together because I've also drilled a hole in it to run a bunch of wires. I don't know if you guys can see that. So I have a hole right in here to run a thick set of wires through this. This guy right here. So I'm running that all the way through, and that's just four 18-2s run through this. So I will have rear lights on this as well. So I have some wire back here that's going to be hooked into a switch that's going to control my lights. Now the same lights will actually control the lights for a trailer as well, guys. So you take your Wpl, let me flip this around. You take your huina with all the electronics attached. I had to make some brackets on the front of this. I still have to file some of these down, and I need to make sure my gluing is good. So I have a front chassis brace right here, nutted and bolted in. So that's going to actually support up and mount on that front plate that I made right there. So if I set that on there, set the back on, and get all the wires out of the way, and the stock B36 length is pretty right. I'm not going to adjust it. I'm not going to complain about it too much. The wheel wells, I can be either, if you really want to get technical, I should be moving the whole rear section about 1/4 inch forward. Will I? Not 100% sure. The one thing I did do is, out of the stock huina, I pulled off the tanks, the gas tank, the little air tank thingy. I got some extra tape on that one. That's going to be still mounted back in here to try to hide the WPL frame. It does sit up kind of significantly. Not much I can do that I can see to lower it down because of the rear dump. The rear dump mechanism kind of sets the height for everything. Yeah, so it'll be kind of lifted up, which isn't too bad. The rear will squat down a little bit, so that's why I made the front a little bit more lower than what I'd like. So when I squat down, my frontal has a normal sag to it, and should sit out nicely. I will hide the transition from the plastic frame to the shiny steel frame that I got with mine, with the plastic boxes. I may get this painted, but my kid's itching to get this thing out on the road with them. So, like I said, we'll have the rear hitch mounted, some lights. For my light controller, I'm just using a little electronic switch. Works great. Plugs right into the servo connection there, and they give you a powered servo lead out. I usually just snip this, solder this to all my lights that I need to work. And speaking of the stock huina lights, they will not work with your current system. They believe there's 3-volt lights. I popped them. So the fronts are 3mm, the rear is a 5mm. Make sure you pick some up. Whites. The rear, I think I'm just going to do a white in the back because it already has red lenses. These lenses are removable. They slide right out, and that's where you put your little LED. I may do red because it will amplify into this. So we'll have a construction beacon on the front of this, and that's going to be the truck. Not too shabby. Turns out really well for I think these are about $100 for the truck. I have about $60 into the WPL. Now obviously that doesn't include the 2-speed trans that I purchased separately. That doesn't include the LED lights, the servos, well, not the servo, but your ESCs that you need. I'm going to try getting away with 2 of the little blister pack ones. If I have to put in a 1625, I got them. I can get them in. Not a big deal, but I'm going to try it. So it is going to go on the FlySky i6. So I do have a 6-channel that I'm going to be using. So I'll have your construction beacon. I already have soldered the ESCs together. I use XT30s, so I'll have 2 of those hooked up to a battery, because that's what the rest of my stuff runs on, is the XT30s and the XT60s. I just find it easy to use. Better than anything that I've used so far. I'm actually switching all of my other vehicles over from Traxxas, and I have some Deans. I'm going to take them all back to the XT30s and 60s. Find them easier. So, like I said, there's your Huina dump truck. It's about midway right now. So, I do want to have it all done, all the kinks worked out of it before Cabin Fever in February in Indiana. That's where this thing's really gonna shine with the 2-speed, and we will be there full force. We're gonna have a big crew. I'd love to meet you guys. I'd love to see you guys there. Wisconsin Construction RC is going to represent big there. We are bringing a lot of stuff. Trying to figure out the logistics on how to get my stuff all down there with the vehicle that I have. I'm not sure if I'm renting a trailer or we're going to be traveling with stuff in our laps. That's about where we're at right now. So, until next time, guys, I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one.